So the next thing I want to talk about is currency, shopping, and tips. Now, Cuba has a currency called the Cuban peso. It is absolutely worthless outside of Cuba. So if you ever bring home uh, currency, you can use it when you go back again in the future. Otherwise, it's useless. So either spend it when you're there and get rid of it, or use it the next time you're there. Go back there, I mean. Now, so again, bring it back if you need to, if you want to. You can also use Canadian and American dollars for tipping and things like that, which I'll get more into in a few moments. Now, they also use Canadian credit cards as well. Now, that said, I will always advise you to bring cash with you when coming to Cuba. Why? And you all, if you do, before I answer why you would bring cash, you can have a Canadian credit card with you in case. Now, to answer why bring cash, because if you're using a bank machine, for example, locally in Cuba, bank machines are very risky in Cuba. They may take your credit card or your card specifically for banking, your bank card. I had a guy last year who used I don't know why I keep saying credit card, but his bank card was eaten by the machine. Again, not literally, it was taken from him and he couldn't use the bank machine. And he was pissed. I had to calm him down on numerous occasions because I didn't want him to go to jail. But the bank guys finally did figure it out and he got his card back, thankfully. But that said, that is why I would highly recommend you bring cash with you, Canadian and or American. Now, unless you are using the credit card on the bus or buying in a store, that is where I'd advise you also to mostly use it if you are going to use it, just because of the bank machine issues. Now, continuing on, there are a couple ways to get currency. Now, left of the center of the lobby, past the souvenir counter, is an exchange place. You receive approximately 85 pesos for 1 Canadian dollar and about 120 pesos for 1 US dollar.
Now this is center of the lobby, to the left now. Okay, let me rephrase that. It's past the center of the lobby in the seating area to the left. Let me rephrase that. But there's several different times. To the left here, further to the other side, obviously out to the resorts. Staff area. Now, at the very end here, like that's where I was just a few minutes ago when I showed you to the right side from the lobby. To the far end here, as I came around this pool area, waiting, it's just for design and for aesthetics. Right here is the cash exchange, money exchange. It's at the very far end of this walkway here, to the right from the left of the lobby. I don't know why I keep saying left, right. Anyway, so that's the end here.
Now, though it does vary by 1 or 2 pesos here and there, that's what I've experienced so far. The other way is in Varadero. I was actually asked, unlike last year, I was asked this year on several occasions, would you like to get exchange money for currency, local currency? I turned them down because even though I know that Varadero is very safe, I did not want to get ripped off in any way because you just never know. It doesn't matter where you're coming from or going to, always be on your guard in case. But thankfully, I just turned them down and voila, did nothing. Now, there is another way that I did find, the guide that was on the bus when I was at the airport for the transfer from the airport to the hotel, he was actually offering us 100 pesos for 1 Canadian dollar and 120 pesos for 1 USD. I should have taken it because it was the best deal and I should have taken it, but I didn't. I will do it again. I will do it in the future if I do get offered a good deal because it was worth 100 pesos. Now, one thing I had noticed, they do that. They go back and like it's all over the map. Like when it comes to that, like you get it in locally this year, whereas last year I didn't get that. Last year and this year I had them on the bus offering pesos for Canadian dollars. So, and last year I didn't see the actual exchange place on the resort, so I didn't even realize they had one. And I was thinking later, what the heck? So there are options there, thankfully. And what's weird is, like I said, it's so different. It's up and down. Like different places are offering different things and different. Oh, it's crazy. Anyway, let's end it there for that part. It's just crazy. Now, last year I bought cigars from a shop in the Plaza America, and they wanted me to use a credit card, but I never brought my passport for ID. And even though they hold it home last year, they did take my credit card without the ID because I was going to leave and come back, but they said, okay, that's okay. So that said, this year I had used my credit card at the same cigar shop and they never even asked me for ID. Again, the lady remembered me this year she did remember me last year. And back in January, in fact, she remembered me because I came back in January as well to buy cigars. So she remembered who I was. Maybe that's why she didn't take my ID. Now, that said, as I mentioned briefly, Canadian credit cards only. If you have an American credit card that is based American-wise, even if it's a Canadian out of Canada, they will not take it. If it's an American company, they will not take it. So make sure you have a Canadian credit card only. In anyways, people have actually, I talked to several people that had experiences that, and they don't take it. They decline. So be careful. Make sure you always have a Canadian credit card. Otherwise, you will have issues. Now, to finish this off, tipping. I found that I tipped on average about 200 to 400 pesos, 200 to 400 pesos to a server for an average dinner or even a snack for lunch. I was giving some of the ladies tips like for breakfast and things like that. I mean, they're offering me coffee on a regular basis, so I was tipping them 200 to 400 pesos on average. Now, that 200 400 pesos is on average $2 to $4 Canadian, which is not much, but it's regularly they're making a little bit of money off you. Not tons, but a little bit. So I would advise bring lots of money if you want to exchange your money in small increments, $40, $50 Canadian into American pesos or Cuban pesos or American dollars. You can bring that and tip them in $1 American or whatever makes you happy for tipping them, right? So yeah, that's a way to do it for that. So yeah, that would be good about that, right? So awesome.